the humility of keep learning, and how when you got to, this is what I heard anyways, like when you got to the point where you were like, oh, I'm not teaching this anymore, I'm just going to have conversations with people, that suddenly there's a flip, and the flip of the people coming to you and asking you questions is because they're on the journey with you, you're learning now, and you know, we're all here and we're all learning from you, and you're learning, like you just showed. Oh, I'm learning right here. I'm not here telling you all the answers. I'm learning as I'm answering the questions, because I'm looking again to a deeper understanding of how I see how life works, and does that fit, and the grace to be able to say, to come up with things and then say, no, that's not it, and keep going back to the source. That's what it looked like for you. And for Alfie, it looked like, oh, it unveiled the answer for Alfie. It's like, oh, the answer's in the silence. It's just, yeah, amazing. I'm blown away.
So I think we can say, oh, go on, Alfie. Go on, Alfie. Sorry.
It was just also to say that I also saw how much I hold myself back because I've not seen that it's an okay possibility to be exactly as you were comfortable being. And it really imprinted to me, oh yeah, that's how it can look, being comfortable in not knowing, and it doesn't have to stop me stepping into those sharing spaces or something. Yeah. Oh, I feel like something really big has happened in that space that I can't word. So thank you for that.
I was going to say, I think we can safely say you answered Alfie's question, Sora. So has anybody else got a question about what Sora's been talking about, or something they've seen or want to share? Or Pete? Oh yeah, you had your hand up before, Pete. Sorry, go on, Pete.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, Sora, that just blew me away. I've got quite a lot of speaking to do this year, which I'm really nervous about. But I've just learnt so much in the last 20 minutes off of you. So yeah, thanks. Love that. Thank you.
What as like what exactly? And what did you see?
The main thing I saw is I can just be comfortable just in myself and not be panicky about trying to get an answer out. Yeah, that quiet moment just said it all to me. That spoke to me in volumes. It really did. So yeah, amazing. Thank you.
Do you know something else which I was just thinking now is that I think it's like sometimes the best answer is I don't know. You know what? I actually have no idea. And I remember I was once in a class, and the teacher was the type of teacher that had all the answers. And then I remember this class so clearly, where someone asked him something and he just paused for a little bit and he just went, I'm really sorry, I don't know. And that humility and that honesty, and it's odd because it's so human. We don't know everything. It's so normal to not know, and sometimes it's so hard to admit it. We feel like people will look further down on us, or they'll think we're not capable, or we don't hold up to the levels that we should be at if we don't know something. And just think it's a shame, because sometimes admitting that is so powerful, and I don't think people do it enough. And instead what they do is blag, and I don't know, it can get you through situations, but I think ultimately it's not a good it's not, you're gonna get stuck with it at some point the minute people start I guess digging a bit deeper. But that is what I wanted to say about I don't know.
And you know what, because you got people get that people see I don't know as the vulnerability, and the blagging as the strength, but it's the other way around. If you're confident, I do not know, and there's nothing, I don't, like you said, not everybody knows everything. So I don't know. I don't care if I'm an expert in that field. That's just one part I just don't know. Give me a couple of days or give me a finger, I can look into it and get back to you. But as it is, but then when you show weakness by blagging like it is a problem that I don't know, and that's the vulnerability. And but your strength is in not knowing, if that even makes sense. Which is
Yeah.
just like exactly like what you just said. Beautiful.
It's something, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this on Instagram. There's so much illusion in the world that we're in. I mean, even the whole celebrity world, the whole kind of ideal perfection, and I'm not just talking about like body image and fashion. I'm talking about lifestyle and even just, you know, friends, what the ideal life is. And I think there's so much illusion and where was I going with this? Right. There's so much illusion, and so people in that illusion feel like they need to keep up the illusion, and that's when there's a disconnect between their integrity with themselves and with their kind of, they feel like they need to keep that up. And that's something I was thinking about this week. Was just that, was the whole celebrity world is such an illusion. And I used to think, I know as a teenager, I used to admire it and idolize it, and you know, all the actresses and actors. And sometimes I do see myself like getting pulled into it, like, oh, they're so funny, they've got a great personality. And then I'm just like, you've never met them. You have no idea what they're like. Every time they're on camera, they are acting. That's part of the whole thing. It's part of it. And yeah, I was watching The Matrix the other day, and I was kind of drawing all those all those connections with The Matrix. But yeah, anyone else? Is it Flick?
Flick? Sorry, Flick.
It's Flick.
Love that name, by the way.
It's Felicity, but I'm a Flick.
I like Flick better.
So that's why I'm a Flick. Thank you. I missed most of it, but I was drawn to come because when I read the description and how you're working with Instagram and about the illusion, it really reminded me of Sid's quote around if only everyone wasn't so scared of their reality or their experience. And it made me think that everyone posting this unreal world on Instagram and Facebook and like portraying this beautiful world is kind of a symptom of being scared of your experience. Because my real experience is so terrifying to me that I must portray that it's perfect to the outside world because that will protect me. Whereas if I wasn't scared that my experience was up and down, I'd be happy to share that with the world. I'd be like, oh yeah, this is just what my life is. I wouldn't have to only give out the good stuff. So it's a symptom of that fear. And I think that made me feel a lot of sadness around what's being posted, really. We shouldn't have that. It's just a symptom of us feeling scared for ourselves, really. And then we join in with the illusion because we're like, got to keep up with the illusion, as you just said. We've got to compete. And again, that's all just more of the bullshit. So yeah, that's what resonated for me. Sorry.
Yeah, I really like what you said about the fear, because there is the reason I think it's fearful is because we don't know it, because we don't take the time to look at our sky, look at the people who are in our lives, and when we don't recognize it, it's like it becomes a little bit of a fear because it's unknown.
Yeah, and it's uncomfortable too, right? Like to feel like, oh, I might be judged. That creates a physical horrible feeling in your body that you might want to do anything to avoid.
Yeah.
So there's an unknownness, but also like a blah.
Yeah, like an uncomfortableness. So when you say uncomfortableness in that, what, can you just elaborate a tiny bit?
Yeah, so an example might be like, say as a child you had experiences of being judged for something, and that brought up lots of uncomfortable sensations and thinking for you. So then maybe 10 years down the line, you're just going to post on Instagram everything that will make you judge to be great and good. Because you want to avoid that feeling in your body. You want to avoid those thoughts of, oh God, are people judging me? Am I not good enough? Am I going to fail in this world? And essentially you're trying to just avoid that experience, which is a human experience, and you're believing it to be true because you think that, oh shit, that feeling in my body is true. You're not connecting with your soul root, your wisdom. You're not balancing yourself back out again. So yeah, that would be an example of, I think we maintain the illusion to avoid feeling uncomfortable, not realizing the uncomfortable feeling is actually nothing to be afraid of. That's the experience that Sid alludes to, that we're all scared of.
Yeah, that I resonate with that entirely. I do see so many, especially what you said about people making things that they were judged about, they now kind of glorify it a little bit, or they make it, not that was the wrong word I saw on your face, you kind of went, that's not what I was saying.
Yeah. My does that without telling me.
But they kind of like put it out there, and maybe this isn't what you were saying, actually, it could be that it wasn't, but I see a lot of people put things out there that they might have been ashamed of or afraid to say or afraid to address in their real lives, but they put it out there on Instagram and they turn it into something like, I don't know how to explain it, they turn it into like almost what's the word?
Oh, I think the word glorify is probably right. You're not talking about what I meant, but it's a really interesting topic of how I think you're going towards how someone might have a bad experience, then glorify their triumph around it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what I mean. I'll just leave it. There's something there, but I don't really know. It's not coming to me at the moment. But anyone else? Kate.
Hey.
Sorry, I just going back to what you said a couple of turns in the conversation ago about being truly happy when you do what feels right rather than what maybe looks right or what seems to be the right thing, when you follow your instinct about what's right. And I totally resonate with that. And I know for me that the only thing that stops me being content and happy in my life is when I start comparing myself with other people, whether that's celebrities with amazing lifestyles and a lot of money and, conventional beauty, or it's people in my real life that. So, for example, my best friend is a CEO of a law firm. She's super, super successful in terms of her career, and she's climbed the ladder. She and obviously she makes really good money and everything else. I've actually almost pared down my career. I was doing quite well in my career, but I really wasn't happy, and I stepped away. And now I'm doing something that I really, really want to do, that feels really right and feels like me, for a third of the money. And I'm really happy with that decision until I start comparing myself with her and thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen with pensions, and what's going to happen later when I haven't got, I start spoiling it for myself because I'm comparing. If I stop doing that, if I just think, am I enjoying what I'm doing? Is it me? Does it feel right? Yes, it does. And then I'm happy and content. So that was all I wanted to say. I totally see that.
Yeah, I think I've felt that feeling before of, what if in a few years' time this is going to be a really bad decision? But what I saw for me, because I'll tell you why it came to me. It's because being on Instagram, I come from a very religious background and community, and social media and Instagram. Like when I was at school, if you were caught, with like a phone that had internet on it, you were in trouble. So Instagram isn't necessarily the kind of place that you want to be seen on in the community. And I was so worried about like people are going to see and they might judge, and you know, I might not. There's a whole kind of system that's set up that like I wouldn't necessarily fit into, and I was afraid that it would affect it. And then I don't know, I just had this thought. I was like, well, then you can just stop. It's like you're never stuck doing what you chose to do, and it doesn't mean it wasn't making you happy when you were doing it, or it wasn't the right thing to do just because you changed. It just means it was right for that time, and now you're moving on, and it's something new is right for this time. And I just found that so comforting, that I'm never stuck. I'm never held to to a decision I made 2 minutes ago. I'm never held to anything. I'm so free to just do whatever feels right. But the key is not to get. The key is, like, for me at least, is about the impersonal, because I did a lot of the time go and look for things to do because of how it would make me look, or because of you know, what it might give me. But I think the key is looking for the meaning. I kind of call impersonal meaningful. That's just what, like, my term that I use for it. And I think it's like sticking with that, with taking yourself out of the picture and just looking at yourself as someone who can be of service to the world in the way, and the best way to be of service is to feel really connected to that kind of impersonal space. And I don't know, it was just so freeing for me that I'm just not stuck to anything, not stuck to any of my views. I'm not stuck to any of my opinions. I don't have to, you know, if I tell my friend something and I change my mind about it the next day, and I'm not talking about like being flaky on commitments and using it as an excuse to kind of get out of things. That's not what I mean. I just mean that if it's real, it's not unreal if it changes. It can be just as real in a different state, basically. Yeah. I
love that. I'd like to share this with you, is that I know, I feel exactly what you're saying, because I've started a YouTube channel for my running, right, which is a new thing for me. I'm only 8 months a runner. Like, it's hard. There's a whole thing around it. And I've started a YouTube channel, and I'm doing a lot of research and a lot of work, and I'll work hours on it. I mean, hours writing a strategy, and who's my niche, and researching other sites. And I absolutely love doing it. Like, I could sit up all night. I have to force myself to close my laptop to have time with Rob, so that I'm present with him, because I could just spend, I could stop work for a month and work on it. I absolutely love it. And I've just followed it because you do, that's what you follow. And I've just followed it, and I've kept going, and I still love it. And it's not even really live yet properly. And honestly, hours have gone into this. So many hours that if I was doing something I didn't enjoy, I would be like, this is terrible, this is really boring, you know. But what's interesting is, Rob said to me, where's it all going? And I said, I have no idea. Like, I have absolutely no idea. I can make up some things, and I could say, oh, this or that, or in a year we can get, you know, YouTube partners or whatever. I could make up a whole load of things, but it's not really for that. It's just because I fancy doing it, and for some reason I'm loving it, and so I'm doing it. And it feels like I can help people, and I can inspire people, and I can, you know, I can sort of really be of service in something that feels really natural to me. And what I love about what you just said was, I thought exactly that. And I thought, because when he said, well, where's it all going? I said, I don't know, but if I stop liking it, or it isn't going anywhere, I can just stop. You know, I can just stop. I can close the channel. I can take the videos down. I can move on to something else. Like, you know, I'm not tied into this forever. It's just I'm doing it because I feel passionate right now about it, and I can just stop when I feel like stopping.
Yeah.
Really cool. Wilson has his hand up.
Just about to say that, Mama J.
Hey.
Hey.
First of all, I want to say thank you. I kind of feel like, and this is an analogy, I feel like you know them old steam trains, right? But they've just had new workmen and they've put new fresh coal into the burner. Right? That's how I feel right now, because everything you spoke about, it really hits home. That's what I want to do basically. I kind of don't really want to talk about the 3Ps no more. I just want to talk to people, you know? I just want to have real conversations with people. I want to find about like that real curiosity without no judgment. I just want to find out what you like to eat. What would you do? What would you, do you know what I mean? I just want to talk to people and connect, because I feel like that's when I'm most present, when I'm just talking to people. And it's like, same way you talk about that facade, and a lot of my friends are still in that. They're still in that facade, right? And it's crazy. Instagram is crazy. It is crazy, right? A guy I know, he got stabbed. It was on Instagram 2 minutes later, saying this guy has been stabbed. I'm saying that, wow, you know, and something will happen. It's on Instagram, and people enjoy watching these things, and there's a whole facade about it, and everything has to be perfect on it. And I just don't believe that. I really don't believe that. I believe in showing the real you, being comfortable with who you are, and showing people that that's okay. And I see that with my friends. As soon as I mention 3 principles, my friends switch off. They don't listen. They don't talk. They don't want to hear it. They think I'm preaching. They don't care about that. But as soon as we have a real conversation, and then they'll see how I handle that, and it's different to how they handle that, it's exactly what you said, Sora. They start asking me questions. I build that curiosity, and they start asking me questions with no judgment. And I don't talk 3 principles. I just talk to them as humans and how we talk. And I know that everything I'm saying is pure truth. And then I see that because it lands, and then we end up talking and having a good, righteous conversation, basically around the 3 principles without mentioning the 3 principles, if that makes sense. And I've seen a lot of shifts in my friends, and it's crazy. Like, some of them, they still do what they do, but just that shift in them, and the way I feel sharing, and the way they feel after the conversation, and like, oh, cheers, bro. And now I get a lot of phone calls from them, and it's like, wow, like, guys just want to talk to me. Just talk, just have a rant, or just have a laugh. And that is when I feel most present. So it's like, even Mama J was saying with the YouTube, I really don't care about how much people watch it. I don't care about who we connect, if we make money, if we not. I really just want to showcase us as humans doing normal human stuff. Forget about the 3 principles, because we are the 3 principles. We are them. We don't need to talk about something. We are that. We just need to show that in the way we live. And that builds curiosity, because they would want to know, like, for me, instance, even today, oh man, I woke up and someone was playing music outside my house with the bass and all sorts. Oh man, was I in a bad mood? Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, where Mama J lives, you would hear a pin drop a mile away. You know, so it's just like, it's the difference. It's like, wow, like, people would see that, and then they'll see, oh, how do you react to that situation? Oh, why are you so calm? And then that builds curiosity. How are you so calm? Why are you so calm? And I feel like in the world I live in nowadays, especially through Instagram, it's like everyone puts on a facade. Everyone really puts on a facade. And there's a rapper, I'm not sure if anybody knows him, but he goes by the name of M Honcho, right? And he's all right. I like him. I like his music. And he wears a mask, right? And the reason why he done an interview, and the reason why he wears a mask is because he loves his privacy. He said he really loves his privacy. He says he's a normal guy. I love my privacy. I don't want people running up to me taking pictures. I don't want people crowding me around the shop. I just want to live a normal life, and I just want to make music for the sake of making music. And recently, he was in a studio with a couple guys, and somebody in the corner filmed his face, and then they put it on Instagram. So obviously now he's upset and that, you know, he's upset. He makes very good music. He's big right now, and nobody knows his face, but now they do. So it's just like, wow, like there's a lot of facade in it. There's a lot of facade in it, and the way we grew up, and especially the younger generation. And just to have people talk as real people, real genuine situations, real day to day, I think that strikes a lot of awareness and a lot of curiosity, and I just love that. And that's why I say thank you.
Oh.
So we have a few minutes left. If anyone has any final thoughts or comments or anything that they want to share or ask Sora, Kate?
Hi, yeah. I just want to say I've really, really, really loved this discussion. I feel like I've learned so much, and something you said was just making me like really laugh. You said you were saying to Kate, like I realised that if I'm doing something, I don't need to worry about whether to do it or not, because if it doesn't work out, then, you know, or if, you know, it's getting me into trouble or something, then I can just stop. And I realized that for a really, really long time, I was doing a job that I wasn't.
You've gone, Kate.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
You were doing the job. That's the last thing we heard, that you weren't, and then it went.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I saw myself freeze, so I was like, I don't think they can hear me. Yeah, for a really long time, and through like 15 years, and throughout those 15 years, I kept getting a little niggle. I want to do something different, but then I was like, oh, but I've done it for 2 years now. I'm invested, so I should carry on. And then another. Still, did I go again? Sorry.
Yeah.
You know the gist, though. I'm sure, like, and after a while, 15 years had passed, and I was like, oh, you know, I've been doing it this long now. So I guess it's crazy that you helped me to see that I could, at any point, you can just stop. But for whatever reason, I just carried on because I'd already invested a bit in it. I don't know, it just really helped me to kind of see, you can just stop at any point, you know, there's that investment.
Extreme. It's almost like gambling, where people are like, they put in loads of money and they're like, oh, I've lost £1,000, maybe I'll, you know, I've got to put more in now because maybe I want it back, or I've lost so much, it needs to be worth something because I've lost so much already. But it ends up sometimes just being worth less and less and less and less and less, until you suddenly realize, like, hang on, I think now is about the time where I've kind of learned my lesson, that I can leave that alone. I'm not going to get anything from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Totally. And beautiful what you shared, Kate. And don't be too hard on yourself. People have worked in careers for 60 years and not realised that. So don't be too rough on yourself.
Let myself off the hook.
Let yourself off the hook. Yes.
It's like what I said earlier, Mama J. If a lot of people were to go with that feeling, they'll walk out of their jobs tomorrow.
Yeah.
A lot will walk out of their jobs tomorrow because that is not feeding that part of them what they're not used to feeding. Me personally, I love my work. I work with Beyond Recovery, doing this sort of stuff every day, and that I feel even guilty to say that's even a job. So I love that. But to go the opposite end, what I was doing, the mundane painting work, I would have probably just swallowed that and carried that on for long, and then not known this feeling that I can get from work. And yeah, it's just you have to try and point people in that direction slyly, but not one, all at once and en masse.
That would be interesting to see what happens to society. Oh, Sora, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Absolutely brilliant. I know that everyone's loved it because it's just been absolutely brilliant. So we'd like to have you back. And I did put Sora's Instagram, if anybody wants to follow that, in the chat. It's at the top of the chat there, because it's spelled with lots of underscores, but it's real people with lots of underscores in there. So you can follow her.
Can you, if I don't know, if it sounded like you might be somebody who would want to come on with me. Can I get you on? We'll talk afterwards. Okay.
He probably will want to come on. I'm sure Derek will as well. So, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. Yeah, amazing.
And I honestly, this is the first time I've ever spoken to more than like one person about this at a time.
Wow.
So I'm thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, and thanks for being such a great, like, I don't know, just the good feedback and getting involved. It was just really helpful. And thanks, Alfie, for answering your own question. That was
let's all go and answer our own questions.
Yeah, that's it.
Amazing, so beautiful. Thank you everyone. Really good to see you all.
Okay then, everybody, bye bye.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.